Is this the Rookie CEO podcast?
Yeah, I think we're in the right place.
Oh, Hev, it's recording. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Heath, and you're listening to the Rookie CEO podcast.
Today we're going to be asking that big question, do I need a website?
Oh,
And this is a bit of a touchy subject for you. Hev.
touchy subject, actually.
So we're currently building your website, but you
Yes.
did have a website in the past.
I did. I had, and I should know better than this. I had a GoDaddy website because I did the classic thing. I was employed, went self-employed quite quickly, and thought, quick, let's throw something together. I knew GoDaddy would be drag and drop, and it served its purpose for about 2 years until I let it all expire. I ignored all GoDaddy's renewal emails, and then the website I thought no one was looking at, suddenly I'm getting lots of messages saying, do you know your website is not working? Or I tried to go on your website, it's not working.
Yeah. Which goes to show that they do work.
Yeah. And I genuinely thought, I'm going to let this lapse because no one goes to my website. I don't get any of my leads through and none of my clients look at it, nothing. And then I think literally that week I had 5 people message me, whether that was like I had a few people just from networking scene, one was a lead, and there was someone else, and they were like, oh, by the way, like your website's not working, or like, is your website down? So people are looking.
Yeah. I think that's quite a good conversation. It's like, oh, obviously that wouldn't work for us because we run websites. So if our website was down, we wouldn't be setting a great standard. But
Yeah.
it worked really well for you because it started conversations, which is
Yeah.
actually
And like
almost
I
like a PR stunt.
Well, like I said to them, I was like, oh, well, I let it lapse because I said all my work comes through social media. And obviously, I'm a social media manager. So if all my work's come through social media, that's a very good sign.
Yeah, it is. But you also, it's really good to have a call to action.
Yeah.
And normally the most common call to action is visit our website for more
Yeah.
information because there's only so much you can put on a post, especially if you're not using Instagram, because Instagram's perfect. You just go on their profile and you're just inundated with images, graphics, photos, and it's a great sort of way to
I call
kind
it
of
like
dig deep.
the online portfolio. That's what Instagram
That's
is.
what I sent. Actually, it's funny you said that. Somebody asked us for our portfolio, and we haven't never created like a portfolio of stuff. A lot of stuff actually we sign NDAs for, so we can't really sort of share footage of it. But I just said to him, like in an email, like if you would like to know, if you want to see our work, just look on our Instagram. I just sent him the Instagram link. I'm kind of waiting to hear back from that because in my when I sent it, I was like, "Is that unprofessional?" I was like, "No, we're a creative company."
No, because like I've got a friend who's a photographer, and I said to them, like, your Instagram is your portfolio.
Yeah, photography, 100%, because that's when
Yeah.
Instagram
Well,
started because of that.
Yeah, like for you, I think the same with videography, you've got lots of clips on there. So I think, yeah, that's the modern portfolio.
Sorry, I'm dying. No, I completely agree. Going back to, do I need a website? Obviously, we've already answered the question, do I need Instagram? Yes, probably. But do I need a website? Now, I think you've learned the hard way, in a way. A website, people look at it as like an online business card, which is fine. But if you're looking at it as only an online business card, there are actually like apps for that. Like if you don't feel like there's an investment, and by investment, I mean, if you're just paying for hosting alone, are you yawning on me already?
Sorry.
If you're paying for hosting alone, you're looking at between 120 to potentially £400 a year. And that is very dependent on storage space, on whether you're building the website yourself using like online tools. Because GoDaddy is quite expensive, but they try and make it...
They package it. It's a bit like Ryanair. It's cheap, but then you've got to add this on, and then you've got to add this on. And then randomly, after 6 months, you get a huge bill come out on like a direct debit. I'd get like £300 or £400 just randomly coming out. I'd be like, what the hell was that for?
Really? Wow, that's mental.
So that's what they package it up like it's cheap, but actually you'd be much better off just hosting it somewhere.
Yeah, and then there's another sort of separate section where is hosting. Like, obviously we do websites, and the amount of
Could you explain
issues.
actually to people what the difference is with the hosting? Because I don't think, like,
Yeah, of
I
course.
didn't understand what hosting meant for a while.
Of course, yeah. So do I need a website? Obviously, it kind of there's 3 things you really need with even if you want a website. The domain, which is the name of your website. So
that's like your www.
which www actually is kind of redundant now. People don't type that.
Yeah.
But it's your heatherwilliams.com. It's your whatever you want your website to be called, and you can have multiple directing to the same website. Price ranging anywhere from £7 a year to it could be like hundreds of pounds a year, depending on the demand of it. So, for instance, there was a plumbing company. It was called something like, I don't want to name the actual plumbing company, but let's just say it was like 2 letters and then plumbing. That was the company name. You could actually have like abc.plumbing as a domain. You don't need the likes of .com.co.uk. But because that was such a high demand domain, you'd have to pay like a couple of £100 a year for it. So it's whether you need that. Nowadays you don't really need that. You could have any domain that was linked to your website, right? So that's your domain. That's the name of your website. The actual hosting is where the biggest expense comes from.
Yeah.
Because look at it this way: is you're renting a space on a server. You have to pay for your iCloud, right? It's a very similar thing. But this space on the server has to have an extremely high.
I think we need to dumb it down even more for people like me. So you're renting a space on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the internet isn't just in the cloud. There's a server somewhere in the world.
Yeah, but people might not even know what a server is.
Okay. A server is
you
tell you what then,
yeah.
Your computer has a hard drive.
Yeah.
Okay. You upload data, sometimes like a picture or something, to Google.
Yeah.
And sometimes you download a picture from Google. Right? That is what a server is. You're uploading and downloading at exactly the same time. But a server is able to do that really quickly. Like we're talking like high speed constantly. And there's so many different types and speeds and everything of servers. That's what you're ultimately doing. You're hosting a space. Because it's a public server, you do need extremely high download and upload speeds. And that's what you're paying for. And the faster ones could be a lot more money. The ones where you're like renting a large space, so like a terabyte or something.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you more money per year. But there are companies out there, loads of them, where basically they will hire, like, let's just say, a large space of a server, and they'll give you a little bit of it, and they'll charge you a small fee. So this server, people think that they've got a server in their living room. And they don't. Actually, in fact, if they did, it's probably the most unsecure server there is. Hey Hev, have you heard of IT Managed Services? They're an IT support service based in Kent.
Yeah, I've been with them for over a year now. I love being able to just call them at any point and they take over my computer and fix the issue so much quicker than spending hours on Google.
Why have you kept that to yourself all this time? Right, I need to sign up to these guys. What's their website?
It's it-ms.co.uk or you can call 01634 218 362.
What they've just done is they're paying like maybe £1,000 a year for this large space, and they're giving you a little bit of it for your website. And there are serious issues with that, I think. Even though they are making a good amount of money, it's a good business because they haven't got to do anything really. They just send you an invoice every year and that's it. But they own the server. They own that space. If their business went bust, you'd lose your website. You'd lose everything on that website.
Yeah.
It could impact your business heavily. You have no access really. A lot of people don't give you full access to the server because it's theirs, and it could impact other websites on that specific server. They don't give you full access to your own website, which is, I think, causes even more issues because a lot of our clients that we get, they want to be able to outsource their website maintenance, but they're limited to this person. The only quote that they can get to make small amendments is just from one person, and they could charge them over the earth. And theoretically, they'll have to say yes if they want to get it done.
Yeah.
So we stay well away from that. What we do, I say we, Fuzzy Logic, is I think it's really important to have your website and treat it like it's part of your business because it is. It's the front store shop. If you're
it's your shop front.
Yeah. So we set all the hosting up under one of the biggest providers, WordPress, but we do it under the actual business, which means if anything happened to us, it would not be impacted whatsoever. They have full access and they can maintain it using third-party providers if they want to. They don't have to use us, but no one, touch wood, has.
Well, I see this in the social media sense. People get employees to set up social media pages, and they're the only admins. And then when that employee goes and is a bit disgruntled, they're like, "Well, I'm not giving you admin access."
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, make sure everything that is owned media, like whether that's your website, your social media pages, any like online presence you have, make sure you have full access and full control. I think that's the most important thing. Because it just, you're just opening yourself up for all this hard work and money you've invested to then having to reinvest to rebuild it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the first questions I tell my clients to ask a web hoster or web designer is, where are you hosting? And is it going to be in their name? And are they going to have full access? Because imagine someone setting up your social media for you and you don't have access to it.
Yeah.
And then they decide they don't want to work with you anymore.
Well, have you also
You've lost a massive following, really.
I guess also, on terms of that, so say if someone was hosting your website for you, yeah, you decide you no longer want to work for them, but they won't give you that website back. Is there anything to stop them from rebranding that website for another business and them getting your Google
kind of
authority?
As long as they own the domain, perfect. They can move the domain to another hosting thing. Like theoretically, all they're doing is they've just lost every bit of data and content on that server. There's nothing stopping them from creating another sort of like hosting anywhere else, and then just moving that domain over to that bit. It's just the only annoying thing is that you can't obviously capture that same all that, because that website is just all code. You can't just pick that code up and stick it into another website without having to.
So
go to the back end.
once you're hosting somewhere, you have to stick with where you're hosting. Is that right?
No, you don't. It's just you paid for it. Normally, you pay for a year in advance.
Yeah.
So we do get a lot of the situations where they've paid you in advance, they're not happy with the hosting, it's really slow, and they decided, it's just a couple of £100, I'll just go elsewhere, knowing that it's going to be much better. But yeah, of course you can. You can just pay.
Just change the content on that website and make it someone else's business. Is that what you could do?
No, I think you're getting confused now. So let's just say you got two. you got a server, your website's on there.
This is why I don't do websites.
No, you got a server, your website's on there, but you want to move it, or you want to.
No, what I'm saying is, so they were kind of like a new business when it was a young business when they started. The company bought the domain through the company. They bought all the hosting, and then they paid this company to do the website.
Yeah.
But they didn't look in the contracts, and they don't actually own the website. This other company does. This website company
including
does.
the domain.
Yeah, everything.
Oh wow.
So that company would be able to just kind of wipe that off and maybe even switch it to another business if they wanted.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
If
I know some people that have bought their domains through a website company, and I'm like, why did you do that?
Like you could take them to court quite easily because it's in their name. They're using all of your logos and all of your branding. Obviously, that's your sort of copyright, really. You could take them to court. It's quite a long process, to be honest. Like, the number one essential thing is to make sure that you purchase the domain under your business. You don't want a third party owning your domain.
Yeah, because a lot of people purchase it through GoDaddy, and that's when it becomes a problem from that, because they charge extra, whereas if you went direct.
Yeah, but again, you can move that. You can even move the domain.
You can move it, but it costs more to buy it through GoDaddy.
It probably does, yeah. You got to do your research.
Yeah.
Like, I always advise, especially if you're new to this, is purchase it all in one place. And I personally, we use WordPress. The reason being is that they're really reasonable, and the reason for that is because they don't provide you with loads of tools and creating your website yourself. They expect you to have a level of knowledge. But what if you've outsourced your website, especially to the likes of Fuzzy Logic, and I'm sure there's loads of others out there, once they've designed your website, they'll teach you how to maintain it yourself, rather than having to constantly outsource it.
Yeah.
So just to summarize, do I need a website?
Yes.
I think yes. I think you need to future-proof your business.
Yeah, and even if it's just a one-page website, it's just something that shows. I think it just gives that extra level of authority, and that you're a legit business. Like you can do a bit of background research you want. That can just be a one-page website, but it's just something to show that you exist outside of other sources.
Yeah. And it's showing you. It's an opportunity to show your business at its best. And websites, they can have videos, they can have photos, they can have loads of stuff. You can animate the hell out of it.
And also, like, if you are listening to this thinking, "Oh, that's all well and good, but I haven't got any money to outsource to get a website done," like, there are platforms like Wix. I know you can build your own website quite easily. I don't know if WordPress has got the same
Wix
function.
is good. So with Wix, you can actually build a free website. Unfortunately, they own the domain, and it will be something like, let's just say, rookieceo.wixstudios.com. So it's very obvious from an external point of view that you got a free website, but you can easily upgrade that by purchasing a domain and purchasing like hosting for a few £100 a year. So as soon as you are ready to make that live and just to have it so it's just the rookieceo.com rather than rookieceo.wix, whatever, then yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, you can also use Canva now to make a website.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like the Canva websites will be super basic and it's not going to have the same functionality. But if you just need something to serve a
Yeah.
purpose for a short period, then absolutely utilize these tools.
What we say a lot at Wiki CEO, is you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's Carl from the Wix guys. He said it's like taking you from scrappy
Yeah.
to shit hot. So you got to start scrappy,
Yeah.
build it up, and I think done is better than perfect when you're starting out.
That's the one that I was trying to, that
Yeah.
phrase. I love it. Right, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank
And we'll see you
you.
again next week for another episode of the Wiki CEO podcast.
See you later.
Bye.